but want to welcome in the guests at this time. Mike, let them know a little bit about yourself and who you are.
My name's Mike. Everybody call me Michael. I mean, well, really, I'm a Heat fan. Okay,
We
I'm a
chopped
Heat
it
fan.
up
I'm a Heat.
last year. We chopped it up last year on I think the finals time.
Yeah,
I think we collabed before, so audience
yeah.
may
Oh,
be a
yeah. It
little
was
bit
right.
familiar.
It was a right. It was right before finals because I said if Miami wins, it would have been like a seven, but then
Yeah.
we ended up losing at five. I mean,
Yeah,
but I
bro.
wasn't mad though.
I low key think y'all had a good ass shot last year, but you just happened to face the Nuggets, who head and shoulders were above
It's
everybody.
it. I say it all the time. I say it's like because I say it because I was talking to one of my friends who's a Celtics fan. I was like, it's crazy to think about because the East pretty much it's always been it's either Miami or Boston, one of us. And
Oh
think about it,
yeah.
the one year the East won, who was it? Milwaukee against who? Phoenix, the
Yep.
weakest finals opponent, because Phoenix best player was arguably Chris Paul and D Book. But other than that, who is you going against? LeBron and AD, Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors, and Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. Like, so let's think about it. It's unfortunate that we didn't get to play Phoenix. I think we would have beat Phoenix in 2020. But that's
That would have
neither
been a
here nor
great
there.
matchup too. I'm not gonna lie.
That'd have been a
Yeah.
coaching wise, because Monty Williams is a good coach, even though he made a terrible decision thinking Aiden can guard Giannis one on one, because there's nobody doing that.
Man,
Nobody
he
doing
I don't know,
that.
man.
Everyone
I feel like him in Detroit, whereas it's not a good match. It's I don't know,
Monty,
man. That whole thing over there is like set up for failure, so he's gonna
that
look bad
team,
regardless.
yeah, he's gonna look bad regardless. That's what, and then the fact that he got so much money too, I was like, okay, you just watched him get destroyed in back-to-back playoffs in game six. Well, get first to game seven, he gets blown up by 50 on his home floor. Then gets blown out what was it, 40 to the Nuggets? I can't
That
remember.
was
It was
crazy,
something
yeah.
like it was crazy. It's like I don't think I want to give him that much money. I mean, I get what the choice is doing because Monty rebuilt the Suns in a way, but
Yeah.
I get it. But back to the Heat, because we were talking about before we start recording. Um, it's the difference between last year and this year is last year we were healthy going in and we had Jimmy. And we
Also,
have the
it's a
form
little
and we
different
have
this
the
year, bro. Hell yeah.
yeah. And then the form we have the Bucks, no matter what anyone say, they were number one seed, but they're still beatable because you know how to beat the Bucks. You clog the paint on Giannis. Drew Holiday has always been an inefficient guard in the playoffs, and
I'm
then
not gonna
Chris
lie,
Middleton was getting
his
his.
shooting is sus in the playoffs.
It's very and Chris Middleton, he still was bothered with his knee injury. So it's like the Bucks. I mean, I said I thought we were going to lose. Once we won game one, I said, hold on, we got something going. And it was a blowout. So I was like, we got something going. But then Tyler got hurt. I was like, okay, maybe not. Then game three, and then game four when Jimmy took over was I watched that game entire. No, I watched it from the second half. And I was like, dang, we down. I think he was down like 16. And then magic just happens. Just magic just happens. And it was unbelievable. Then game five, I watched that entirely. The Bucks just collapsed. They collapsed completely.
Yeah.
But Celtics,
It's a
yes, we
different
beat them
beast this
last
year,
year.
man. It's a different beast.
Yes, we beat them last year in seven, but they got better.
Oh yeah.
No, Robert Williams, a guy we didn't have to guard because he wasn't a threat offensively. They upgraded him with Porzingis, who can not only rim protect just as well, he can shoot and he's post up. So that's another threat. Derek White got better. Then you replace Marcus with Drew Holiday, which offensively I can say it's not too big of a difference because Marcus can be inefficient. Difference is Drew has won a championship, so he's
He's
got
got
that
that experience.
pedigree.
Yep.
He's got the experience. And then Tatum and Brown, I don't even really have to say nothing about that. So
I'm a
this
little
is a
worried
different
about
beast.
Brown in the playoffs though, man. I feel like he's been kind of a little exposed recently. So I'm a little worried if he could pick up his game in the playoffs, especially against the Heat.
I mean, I would. I mean, I would be delusional and say I think we win if we had our guy Jimmy. If we had Jimmy and Terry, I'd be
How long
delusional.
is Jimmy
But
gonna be out for? Because I know,
they said 2 to 4 weeks. So I say
that's the whole
that's
first
pretty much
round.
that's the whole first
Yeah,
round. So
not
I'm
gonna
like,
lie.
yeah,
Without Jimmy, y'all are cooked, man. I think that
it's cooked.
series, at
The
most, you're
only
winning one
way
game, bro. At most.
one game, and that's gonna be like a game 4 where we're at home. We kind of like just have to win it, not to get swept.
Yeah.
But oh man, I mean, that's why I said difference between I said I'd rather just lost to the Bulls and then just got a lottery pick because if we were healthy, then I'm like, okay, yeah, let's play Boston. Let's get this over. If we lose, well, they're just a better team, but we're unhealthy. So what's the purpose of even trying to win this game? I mean, the Bulls, y'all not gonna rebuild. Like you just won't.
I don't understand with
I
our
don't
team philosophy, man.
I
I
don't
couldn't
get
tell
it.
you.
I don't get it because like I guess y'all are hell bent on Lonzo like becoming healthy
It's
again, and
over with,
then
bro. Like, let me tell you, man, we're way past the rebuild like phase, man. We should have been blowing this up if you asked me last year. But this team
yeah,
is we've overachieved too. Don't get me wrong. That we had no
oh, of
business
course.
even being in the plan, bro. I feel like still at this point we get rid of DeMar, we get a Vooch. Zach should be gone too. Forget it, bro. Kobe has a solid case for being a most improved, but this whole regime, bro, we gotta start over, bro. Like it's going nowhere. We're stuck in the middle.
Speaking of Kobe, I say he's most improved player, but he's not gonna win because
Who do you think,
for
Maxi this year?
it's gonna be Maxi. For
Yeah.
some odd reason, I don't get how it is in the NBA that most improved player usually goes to guys who meet the expectation everybody has for them. Like everyone knew Maxi was gonna be good once
Yeah.
Harden left. Everyone knew that. It's the
He's
same.
been
I said the
showing that
same
he's been
thing
flashing potential, and now it was
every
time.
year. It's the same thing with Ja because Ja wanted his third year when he broke out 2 years ago. And I said it after his playing game with the Warriors. I said, Ja is going to be a star in this league.
Oh
So
yeah.
why is he getting most improved player? He's a second overall pick. Last time I checked, most improved players are supposed to go to guys like Kobe, guys who start out bad and
Bro,
then
he
they
was just a
just
six man to start the year.
he was a six man and now he's dropping 40. I mean, it's the Hawks, but still, that's still impressive to do.
Yeah.
It's still impressive to do, especially behind DeRozan, Vooch. Who else? Then Zach when he was at
Zach at the time, right?
Zach hasn't played since what November, December.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest too, and I think some Bulls fans might need to hear this, or maybe they already know, but he's not a tier one player, bro. I don't know how much
Oh
he's
no.
making. If he's
Oh,
making
he's making
40 a
at least
year,
40. He's making
it's
40. He's making 40.
ridiculous, bro. Like
He's making 40.
on a championship team, he's not even the second best player, bro. He's maybe the third option on a championship team, bro.
He's and
Like
then
if
I
we're being
didn't realize
honest.
he's 29. I didn't realize he was 29.
It's past that time where we think this team is gonna be led by Zach in the championship, bro.
I I
It's
swear
over
to
with.
you. I swear to you. I did not know he was 29 until I looked it up like last week. So I forgot somebody asked me about Zach, what was his injury. I said, I forgot. I said it was something with his knee. And then his age popped up. I was
And
like,
yeah,
he's
now he's
29?
had multiple knee injuries now, bro. This ain't his first knee injury
It's
now.
like, it's time to blow it up. But
Yeah.
the thing is, it's the same thing with the NFL. It's better to trade a guy a year early than too
Oh,
late because
definitely.
now Zach, you're not gonna get the same value for Zach
Nope.
because they know you because now he's got a knee injury. He's
He's holding a
29.
lot of leverage in I would say the trades for sure.
He's also a lot. So it's like, and then DeRozan, he's an older guy. I mean, he's still good, but
He's a
he's
free
not.
agent though, right? Or no?
He is. I'm
I
not.
hope he is, bro. Maybe he's got an option or something, but man,
If he has an
I'm not
option,
inclined in keeping DeMar,
if
bro.
he's if he's got an option, he's probably gonna pick that option because it's
Yeah.
probably a lot of money. It's probably a lot. Vooch, I would have got rid of Vooch after a while, a long time.
Yeah.
Vooch
It is.
never
He's one of
really
the most inconsistent players, bro.
he never really moved me because I remember I seen the joke before. They said Vooch is supposed to be a stretch big who can't stretch the floor.
Yeah.
That's what he's supposed to shoot threes, but he can't. So I'm like, then what is he doing? Because he's not defensively a good center. So
No.
it's like, and
He's a
I
little
remember I was talking
undersized.
to No, I think he's 7 foot, 6'11",
He's
seven
7. I
foot.
don't know.
I
Maybe he
mean,
just plays a little smaller to me.
yeah, he kind of does. He kind of does. But I remember talking to John about this before. I said, you might as well kept Wendell because Wendell can shoot. I mean, and then guess what? You gotta pay less
Oh
because
yeah.
Vooch you're paying way less for Wendell,
They're
who
paying
can
him at least 20 something a year, at
right.
least.
Wendell, I think it's like 17, 18 million. Well, Vooch you're paying 20 million to not be as good. So
Yeah.
it's like, so you might as well kept Wendell, but
Yeah,
that's
this
up
this
to the
franchise
rules.
has made plenty of bad decisions
Bad
leading to where they are
decisions,
now.
very bad decisions, but and they won't. I don't get. It's like they won't rebuild. I'm trying to think who they remind me of the
They're
NFL.
like
trying
the
to think who they
Cowboys,
remind.
bro. The Cowboys just refuse to rebuild. They be stuck in mediocrity. Lack
I
of playoff
mean,
wins, all that. That's what I would say. I know I got the
that's.
hat on, bro. That's just what I'm thinking of.
I mean, that's. I mean, I can't say the Cowboys because at least the Cowboys like end up being a top seed every
Oh
year. Like
yeah,
the
I guess
Bulls
there's
are just always
expectations to actually go far. With the Bulls, like I
right.
haven't had any expectations, so
I don't think it's. I don't think anyone's had an expectation for them since the year Lonzo before when Lonzo got
that
hurt.
one,
That's the
yeah, that
last.
1 year, right?
That's about it. And they were really good that year. I think they were number 1 seed at
Number
one
one
point.
seed in December, January, whenever, but it was
It was.
exciting.
I think it was
Yeah,
one of the. It was one of the two. And then once Lonzo got hurt, y'all just plummeted. And then he played walk in the first round, which
yeah.
sucked. But
One of the more exciting teams that I think has honestly caught me by surprise, the Knicks, who are the number 2 seed, taking on the Sixers, who
oh
found
god.
themselves in the play-in. Obviously, we know with the Sixers, man, they're probably one of the better 7 seeds that you'll see because before
Oh,
Embiid got hurt, oh man, he was
they
putting
were
up
top
numbers,
three.
man.
Pretty sure they were top three. He was gonna win MVP again.
I
I
think
think he
so.
was gonna.
I
He was
think
gonna win
so.
MVP again. He was gonna win it again because I
Yeah.
mean I don't really like his game because I don't like the whole flopping thing. I don't really like it,
He
but
draws hella
I
free
got
throws. I'll be honest, bro. He shoots
but
a lot of free throws.
but to be fair, he has Nick Nurse unlocked a lot of things for him because last year the problem was he wasn't the best passer. So it's like when they double him, he'd be hesitant and all that. But now this year, Nick Nurse spaced the floor out for him. So now you double Embiid, he's gonna hit the open man, not like Jokic, but he's gonna hit that open man, and that's more dangerous because he's a guy who can get 40 on you and get people in foul trouble. We'll see in this playoffs. If he does it again, then I'm gonna have to throw my hands up and be like, "This is y'all MVP, man!" Like he
On the
does the
other
same thing
hand,
every.
bro, I gotta be honest, Jalen Brunson has been playing lights out, bro, and he could drop 40 on a given night too. So I think this is gonna be a really close series. If I'm being honest, I will say this: if Embiid stays healthy and plays all the games that he can, I got the Sixers winning this in maybe 6 or 7 games. But I think it's gonna be tight.
I I think it will be too because the Knicks don't have. I mean, even though Randall does do the same thing, like can be like drops in his playoffs, but that's still another ball handler who can take the attention off of Brunson. But now you can double Brunson because who else is creating in the Knicks offense?
Not too many
DiVincenzo,
guys. Yeah.
he can DiVincenzo can shoot, but he's not really threatening me off the dribble. Josh Hart isn't threatening me. So other than Brunson, who's creating offense for the Knicks? And then, well, I mean, it's good the Knicks gonna get OG back.
Oh,
That's a good one good thing.
I
They
forgot
do get
about that.
OG back. I forgot about it too because he's been hurt just like Randall for the longest. It was
What do you
him,
think about
Randall,
that
and
trade
Nick.
though, with them getting rid of Barrett basically and getting OG Anunoby? Do you think it benefited that much,
That
or really you can't say because OG's
it
been hurt?
benefit it's benefit him a lot in my opinion because you get because RJ it benefit. I say it's good for both sides because RJ gets moved to an environment where he can grow because the Knicks they're trying to win and RJ can't really showcase how good he is in that environment because he's got to play behind Brunson, Randall,
Oh, Thibodeau is real
and
strict with
whatever.
his minutes and his lineups too, so
Uh,
we already know
oh, but
he's
OG is literally the perfect person for Thibodeau, a guy who you just throw him out there to play defense. He shoots threes and he just plays when he basketball. And People forget OG was on that Raptors team that won that championship. He didn't
Yeah,
play because he was hurt, but he still has championship pedigree. So it's like I feel like that was a win for the Knicks because you get a win now player in OG. And then who else did they trade for? I forgot. I think they made another trade. Then they
they
get
made a
Bogdan.
couple
Yeah,
of small moves. Yeah,
they got Bogdanovich, but I don't think he plays. I don't really think he
nothing
plays.
too crazy though. No,
Nah, nothing too crazy, but I mean it's tough if they don't got Randall. I mean, I don't think the Knicks. I don't think anyone's scared of the Knicks. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I think
no.
it's because I don't like them, but that's another question.
I
That's
think the farthest they'll go is maybe the second round, realistically. But
based on who they play. It's based on who they
yeah, it
play.
really is matchup
It's,
driven. With the
I
next
mean,
series, we got the Bucks, and they're looking a little limp too. Hold on, let me rephrase that. They're looking a little hurt too.
they're hurt
Going
too
into the
because
playoffs, bro.
Giannis. Oh man, that's it. But another story I
And
want
the
to add to
Pacers
that.
are they got their number.
You remember because you remember during the in season
Yeah.
tournament, Tyrese, that's when he was balling because I mean he hasn't been the same since the hamstring injury, but they were talking to each other. Remember Giannis had the 64 and they wouldn't give him the game ball
Oh
and
yeah,
he got
there's
heated.
history here. Yeah, yeah, there's
There's
history.
there's history. And then I think it was Malik Beasley who was like, I think he said something in January. He was like, they don't want to see us in the playoffs. So it's like this is something that I was looking forward to back in December. So I want to see them play in the playoffs. That's two teams who don't play defense.
Yeah.
Well, the Bucks want to, but they can't because they don't got the guys. The Pacers, they don't.
You know,
'Cause
I
they
gotta
want to
talk about
score.
the Bucks real quick. And for all the hype and off season that they've had, you know, when they first got Dame, we were thinking, oh, this is a super team. Like I don't care, Dame and Giannis on the same team, it doesn't matter, defense or not. But they might be the most misleading number three seed because they look very beatable this year, and the Pacers could be, you know, they could
That's
be the team
why
to
I
expose them.
was. That's why I'm so mad because we have so many losses. I'm talking about the Heat. We had so many bad losses because I wanted Milwaukee. Because I said if there's any team I know for a fact we could beat, it's Milwaukee. I said because first of all, I said Dame. I said especially with Giannis out. I said, oh yeah, we could definitely beat Milwaukee. I think
Yeah.
anyone wants because who they play? They played okay. They played the Pacers, so it's like the Pacers. If Giannis, because they said
Giannis is
Giannis
literally their
is
best defender too, bro. They like that's the thing. You take away him,
they
that's a lot of their
said
defense.
there's I think Sham said Giannis is probably expected to miss the beginning of the series, and now you're relying heavily on Dame to carry the offense, and you need Chris Middleton or some other guys to step up. And I don't think Tyrese, I think you gotta get Tyrese a while because the hamstring injuries are hard to come back from. Like just like Harden, like when he got his hamstring injury back years ago, it's like it's hard to come back from a hamstring. That's why Tyrese wasn't putting up the same numbers he was to start the year off. Because start the year off, he was like 25, 13. And he was hitting a lot of threes and he was just a threat. But I could see this going 6, 7. If Giannis is back, it's turn when he comes back.
Giannis will
Like
be
if
an
he
impact, but I do think
absolutely,
it depends if
absolutely
it's too late or you know,
right.
it all depends.
But if of all the teams, in my opinion, who have like major playoff like implication based on how they lose, it's the Bucks are definitely up there because if the Bucks lose, a lot of things are gonna get shaken up
Oh,
because
there's been
you
a lot of
traded all
turmoil. Yeah.
because you traded so many assets to get Dame, then you trade assets to get Drew. So it's like you don't have any picks. Dame, I think he has like 2 years left on his deal. So it's like, do you trade
This is
Dame
a
to get
Doc
assets
Rivers led
back?
team too we're talking about, so his
I
history in the
still don't get
playoffs
why they
is
I still don't understand why they fired what was his name? I forgot his name. He was 30 and 11. Okay, what the players don't get along with him. You won 30
it's
games.
not his
There's
job,
no
bro.
way
Yeah, it's not about getting
it's not
along.
his job. He's here to win games. You guys were 30 and 11. And in my opinion, if you start 30 and 11, it's no way you don't win 50 games. It's no way you can't
Oh
win
yeah.
50 games. You win 49. You like first of all, it's the same thing in football. You want to go into the playoffs playing your best. They went into the playoffs limping and playing terrible. So
It's not looking too good, bro.
then it,
I think we're on
it's
upset
not.
alert.
It's
I
I
got the
think it's
Pacers
upset.
winning it. I'm not gonna lie. In
If
7 games, I think it might be one of those games
I
where
think it's seven because
series,
it's like if Giannis comes back like game three and they're down 2-0,
he will make it
they going
interesting. I think he
he'll
definitely
make
will.
it interesting, but it's like you're going into Indiana down 2-0, but you're getting Giannis back, who hasn't played in probably what 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
Yeah,
something
it's
like
gonna be
that. So
about
it's like,
that by the time. Yeah,
oh man, that's well, that's what they get for taking Dame from us. This is what they get. This is what they get.
yeah. They tried
He was
jumping the
supposed to.
gun. Yeah.
They
Uh,
jumped the gun, and now guess what? See, we would have been all right. We've been all right. But now you don't have any assets. Giannis even threatened to leave during all the season. He would leave if they didn't make a move. He still can. So
he didn't sign an extension, like a super mega extension. Oh,
ooh,
that's gonna be a big, huge storyline, man.
that's that's why I was like, why would they trade for Dame? I mean, I get it because you want to convince him to stay, but he still didn't sign it.
Dude,
So it's
he's
like,
holding his
dang,
brother. Like you, he's probably saying something like you gotta sign Thanasis or whatever
uh,
to
no,
the
that's just oh my
same length
god,
whatever extension.
oh my god,
I
they
know he's doing
probably
some
are.
shit like that, bro.
They probably are because I think they had his other brother on a G League team,
Hey,
but it's
that's low
like,
key.
oh
That's
man,
real though, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That's
I
real.
mean,
That's
it's
family.
real. I mean, it's real, but it's like, come on now. If you're trying to win, let's give.
Anywhere he goes, he's bringing in his brother.
He's. I mean, that's real. I like that. I mean,
For a
it's real
team,
family wise.
I think they'd be willing to sacrifice like a roster spot, whether it be for
Yeah,
whatever,
I
just to
mean,
get Giannis on. Like if the Bucks aren't
yeah,
doing it, I'm
absolutely.
guaranteeing there's every other team lining up just for that.
Oh, they have. Absolutely, absolutely. Because I'm trying to think who else. Some other team did like that. I mean, we did it with Udonis, but that's different because Udonis was there when we won all our championships. So that's different. Thanasis, he didn't produce any. He hasn't produced anything. The Udonis at least was with us in '06 when we won, and he produced. He helped us. So, but that's here, there, nor there. But another team, I think another interesting matchup I think is probably up there is the Clippers Nuggets. I mean Clippers Mavs. This is part three.
Let's get to that in just a second. We got one more matchup in the East, then we're gonna get all into the West. The final matchup with
Hmm.
the East. It's interesting. We got the young and up and coming Orlando Magic, who they've exceeded so many expectations.
Oh, so many.
For my
So
eyes at
many.
least, I think
Definitely.
they've gotten farther than where they should be at and where their rebuild is. And for Cleveland, honestly, like you would think this has got to be their year. Let's just say there's more pressure on Cleveland to win the series. For the Magic,
Oh,
this is their
absolutely.
first year,
Oh,
they're playing with house money,
absolutely.
but I do think
Because
Cleveland should win this, but it might be a little bit in 6 games. It might be like a interesting series. I think the Magic will put up a fight.
for, for me, Cleveland, there's all the pressure is on them because if Cleveland doesn't get it done, Donovan Mitchell can leave. He can leave, and then and then because look at last year, they pretty much everyone thought that series between the Knicks and them was going to be much more competitive, but it was pretty much one sided. The Knicks just out physical them, out rebounded, and
Oh yeah,
just
that was a very
bullied them, and
disappointing end to their season because last year they had high
very.
expectations as well.
And then this year I forgot what I think it was like like February, January when they were like Donovan Mitchell was balling, and then and then he got hurt, and
Oh, they
that
were
was
doing
another team I
amazing. They
said.
had a great run.
And then that was another team I said a lot of teams probably wanted to face in the first round because Donovan Mitchell, you don't know if he's healthy or not, and you don't know if he's healthy, and that matters. I mean, but they did improve because they got shooters. Because like last year they didn't have shooters. This year they have shooters now, so that's the improvement. But
Shout out to
Orlando,
that DePaul boy, Max
Max
Strus,
Strus,
your
yeah.
boy who used to be on the Heat.
I mean, I mean, hey, I mean, we miss him a little bit, but I mean, but Duncan, he improved a lot for us this year, so I'm not really
You
too
think Duncan's worth
disappointed.
the money though?
Yeah,
He gets paid
Duncan,
a
yeah.
lot, don't he?
I mean, he gets like 17 million. 17 million average, 14, 3 and 3, but he's an elite shooter.
That's
And
crazy.
he's actually,
The amount a NBA player makes, like Duncan Robinson getting 17 mils. That's crazy, bro.
I mean, look at Tobias Harris making almost 50 million, and he's
That
like
that's
the third he's like the third
that's
option on the
insane,
Sixers.
bro. Yeah,
And
that's
then and
insane.
then then you got let's not speak about Ben Simmons who hasn't been healthy since he was a Sixer, and he's getting
Oh
like
my God.
38 million to just sit out. So it's
Yeah.
like if anyone's just playing for free, it's him. But
Let's take a look at
or
the Western Conference. The matchup you were bringing up first. So we'll start with that. The Clippers and the Mavs. One of the teams. If I was someone who had say in the votes, I would have Luka Doncic as my MVP this year. But
us
I
because
think it's gonna go to Jokic. I'm not gonna lie, but Luka
I
definitely is the
don't
MVP
know.
for me.
I don't think it should though, because they didn't finish as number one seed. That was his argument, in my opinion. They was number one seed, but
For Jokic, you're
my
saying?
my MVP was SJ. But then once he got hurt, those like final 3 weeks,
Then it was too
I mean,
late.
wasn't playing. It was too late, and I said, but Luca just got them to the fifth seed. So I said it should be. I said Luca's averaging 33, 9 and 9, and he's a top five seed in the West, in the tough Western
The
Conference with
West has been crazy. Yeah, they've been tight
10
this year.
teams, 10 teams finished 10 games above 500, which is crazy. So the finish as a fifth seed is impressive. So it's like I said, this is the year Lucas showing MVP. But I really think they're going to give it to Jokic just because they were top two seed again. But it's like I think Lucas has the storyline. He has the he has the storyline. He has the stats. He has the highlights. So it's like, what's going against him from not winning? What is?
I think when it comes to this series, I feel like the Clippers have a lot more pressure, to actually win this
Oh,
because
absolutely,
they've had so many
absolutely.
years to put it together, and
And
they got James Harden, and now they're like, this is their year, bro. I'm sounding
this is
like a
their year.
Cowboys fan, but this is their year, right? Clippers are thinking,
I mean,
but I don't know, bro. If they, all right, let's just say I think they could beat the Mavs, but I don't see the Clippers getting farther than if they win this round, who would they face? They would face
they
the
would
winner,
face
right? Of the
between
one versus
okay,
eight.
yeah, AFC, yeah, yeah, they would win. So they would play because I don't know because it's what Kings, it's Kings Pelicans right now, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what the score of
Yeah,
that
it's
is, but I'm going based off
I
a
must
limb
say.
that the Kings are winning that, and they will win that.
That should be an interesting first round,
Oh, the
Kings
Pelicans
Pelicans.
are
That's
up right
actually
now. The Pelicans are currently up by 9 at half, but I think
oh
I want to say the Kings will close it out and win, but who knows? We'll see.
Valanciunas has 12. Okay, that's what. Okay, they're getting led by Valanciunas. Okay, that's interesting. But
So what do you think though for the
Clippers,
Mavs?
Mavs,
Can they pull it off? This would
I
be an
think they can
upset
pull it off
technically.
this. I mean, I
They
don't think
they
it's an
got history there
upset.
too, don't they? They played in
They got history. Cause the bubble and in
the bubble. I remember
2021
that. Yeah.
and in 2021. Because remember, 2020 is when Luka hit the step back on Reggie Jackson. And then everyone was like, if Kristaps was healthy, they would beat the Clippers. And in 2021, they go to 7 and they lose. Yeah, they lose. Well, game 7 was in LA and they Luca lost. And everyone's saying this is a good series because Luca pretty much like he always goes off from the Clippers. He does.
Oh yeah.
But the Clippers own him in the playoffs because they're 2-0. But this time,
The
Luca's
Clippers,
got Kyrie.
correct me if I'm wrong, but the last few years they've never had a season where they went into the playoffs with all their stars healthy, right? Like always if Kawhi wasn't out, Paul George was, and they didn't even have
20,
James Harden before, so it was either Kawhi or Paul George, right?
20 the bow the bubble year they were healthy. In 2021, they were healthy. Kawhi got hurt. I want to say
Damn, it's lagging
he
pretty
got hurt
bad.
in the second round against us in the playoffs. It's Kawhi and PG because he's been relatively good in the past couple playoffs, but James Harden, he's really not somebody I really trust right now because look at last year
I would
and
never trust
look at
James Harden in the
2024.
playoffs.
I
I
would
just
never.
can't.
I am a firm believer that you can show me the numbers. Well, he dropped 30. Well, James Harden's the same guy in 2017. I will forever remember this. 2017 at home against the San Antonio Spurs.
Oh,
No
the block?
Kawhi,
Are
no
you talking
Tony
about
Parker.
the Ginobili block?
Nah, I'm not talking about the block. I'm talking about
No.
game 6 at home, down 3-2. No Kawhi, no Tony Parker, and you scored 10 points.
Oh yeah.
And
He
you
was
want me
still
to
in
sit up
Houston
here?
back then, right?
Yeah, that's when
2017?
that was his first year with D'Antoni. And I'm like, you want me to believe this guy isn't a playoff choker? Well, he isn't absolute garbage like Randall in the playoffs, but he definitely drops a level for the regular season because his style of play is just like Joel Embiid. It the calls he's not getting them. He's not getting those calls. Teams can actually game plan for him in the playoffs more often than not. So I mean, yeah, he's running with PG and Kawhi, Russ, but it's like what the Mavs are gonna do, in my opinion, they're probably gonna target whoever's because who's guarding who? Who's guarding Luca? You're not putting
Yeah,
Kawhi on Luca.
you could only put one or the other.
You're not putting Kawhi on Luca for a whole game because then Kawhi is not gonna be as efficient on offense. You're not putting PG on Luca. Well, you probably are, but then PG's not gonna be as efficient on offense. But then who's guarding Kyrie? You're not putting James Harden.
Yeah, you know the Mavs never had like a guy like Kyrie behind Luca. I mean, Brunson was
They
nice,
had
but Brunson
Brunson's
wasn't
good,
Brunson
but
yet,
he
you
wasn't
know?
Brunson yet. I mean, speaking of that. I was wanting to say that earlier. I said they kind of regret not paying Brunson because he's cost way less than Kyrie and he's just as productive if you really think
Yeah.
about it. I mean,
Do you
but
think
who knows?
Brunson would have
Who
been able to like actually shine under Dallas if he was to stay? Or he had to leave to really get his own
that's
system?
why that's why I was gonna say I was like, who knows if he would still be this good? But because Kyrie, he's already played with the better teammates, so he knows how to be a second co-star. Because he's played with KD, he's played with LeBron, so he knows how to
It's
be a
crazy because when
second.
you think about like the time when Kyrie left, like initially left Cleveland, he was all about wanting his own team, escaping the
Right,
shadow, and now
and now
he's completely
he's been
comfortable
in
fine being like in the back, to a Luka
because
Doncic led
I
team.
think he
He's matured.
I think he realized, yeah, he's realized that leadership stuff is not as easy as you think it is because he realized that it wasn't because in Boston, that 2019 team, they disappointed completely. So he realized that maybe, okay, you know what, maybe I'm not built to be the number one, but I could be a good number two. And he's a really good number two option. So let's not get that out the way. Let's
Oh
get
yeah.
that out the way. But if I had to pick, I say Mavs in seven. I say Mavs in seven, Mavs in six. I don't
Yeah,
think it's gonna be
it's really tough, bro. I think
it's gonna
the
be a
Mavs
really good series.
I think the Mavs have a great chance to win the series. I think the Clippers are rightfully favorites, but I'll take the upset and I'll take the Mavericks to win in 7 games. Um,
Absolutely.
the number one seed though, regardless, whether it's against the Pelicans or the Kings, man, it's the Thunder have crazily overachieved, but they're here now. Like we thought this was gonna be in a
Then
couple
they
years
still
down
had
the
a
line,
and they
but
still
they've
have their
arrived.
draft picks.
Yeah, they
And they
still
still
got
have
the
those
draft
draft
picks,
picks.
right?
So it's like
Yeah.
and then Shet only can get better. Williams can only get better. I don't want to speak about Giddy, but
I won't sit here and say that the Thunder are gonna make the finals or maybe even make it to the conference finals, but I think this
They need
team
more
will make it to the
experience.
second round at least,
They need
bare
more
minimum,
experience. They need more experience because they're gonna either play Dallas
or the
or the
Clippers.
Clippers, and the
I'll say
Clippers are more
this:
experienced.
I think they could beat the Clippers. They knowing the Clippers, bro, in that kind of spotlight in the second round and SGA against his former team, I think they would have beaten them. But maybe I'm just talking.
That would be a great story. That would be a great
Yeah.
story, by the way, because beating pretty much you're beating the team that traded you, and then everyone's definitely gonna say, well, the Clippers definitely lost that trade because the trade Shea just sent them home.
As
But
it looks
it's
right
a
now, they would be playing the Pelicans, but whether it's the Kings or the
they'd be
Pelicans,
they're
I feel like who would be
they're being
favorite in those
they're beating the
series?
Pelicans.
You
The
you think
Pelicans,
maybe
if they
they'd have no problems with the Pels because we don't know the status of
yeah,
Zion
let's
either.
no Zion, he's out for weeks. They said he's out for
Mm.
4 weeks, so he's pretty much done for the playoffs.
Wow.
That's why I said it sucks. It sucks because he pulled a hamstring. So you know hamstrings they take a while. They take a while to heal. So I think he's done. Unless they force him back, but they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that.
No.
But another, I must say, speaking of the next team I'm talking about, another interesting matchup is Minnesota Phoenix
Yeah.
because both teams have something on the line. That's what I like about this playoffs. There's a lot of teams, but
There's a
it's
lot
a
of
lot
shuffle
of
with the top tiers, like the top teams versus who you think would be up there versus who's there now. Another young team, the Timberwolves. I didn't think they
they
would be
got
a legit team, but they were the number one seed for quite a while. And the
yeah, and then
Suns, who we thought they would be a lot better, they've struggled a little bit defensively, right? So this
and
should
in the
be a good
fourth
series.
quarter. And in the fourth quarter, they were both actually the crazy thing about both teams, they're both terrible, bad fourth quarter teams. But I love this because it's a lot on the line. Because if Minnesota loses again in the first round,
Oh yeah.
then you'll look at the Rudy Gobert trade and be like, okay, was he worth all that they gave up? And if the Suns lose,
Oh, you can forget it. If the Suns lose, it's over. KD's
if
walking, all
it's
that.
if the Suns lose, well, you just traded for KD. You traded everything for Beal. You don't have any cap space.
Yeah,
you,
they're
you
cooked.
don't have any draft. So you're pretty much like, this is like, you gotta win. And especially because they were pretty sure they had champions. They were one of the top favorites in the West. I can't remember, the but it'd be very disappointing if they lose in the first round for either team to lose. Like it's like I was saying, like this is what
There's
I
a
like
lot
about
on the
this
line.
playoff.
Yeah, I
It's a
can see it.
lot on the line for a lot of the teams. And then speaking of another series, Denver Lakers. It's a lot on
Denver's
the line for
winning that,
both
bro.
teams.
Hands down. Hands down. I don't think the Lakers stand a chance.
Denver's winning. Denver's winning.
Yeah.
I know they're winning. And even though I like the Lakers a little bit, but I don't know why. I mean, it's not good to say they should have
They
lost
played
to
last year too, right? In the playoffs was
yeah,
the
and they
what
swept
round
them.
was
And they
that?
swept them. And
Yeah.
it was the conference finals and they
Conference
swept them
finals.
because
How am I forgetting that? What was the conference finals?
and it was a
Yeah.
sweep. It was a sweep. And it wasn't like a sweep where it's like blowout, blowout, blowout. No, I think game one, the Lakers were down 20, but they came back, but lost in the fourth quarter. Second game, losing the fourth quarter. Third game, losing the fourth
And
quarter.
that's when it matters, man.
Game
You gotta win those games in the fourth.
because the Lakers do the same thing all the time. They play great basketball for 3 quarters, and then for some odd reason, the fourth quarter comes, they want to start playing hero ball and start just running the clock out and shooting a bad shot. It's like that's not how you got to lead. It's like blow leads and say that's not the type of like you want Phoenix. Phoenix can do that because they have shot makers and Beal, Booker, and KD. They got guys who can do that. LeBron, you need to get to the basket. AD, get to the basket. Like, they play more collective as a unit than what they were doing. Because the Pelicans, they almost blew it to the Pelicans. If Zion didn't get hurt, they'd lose
Yeah,
that game.
honestly, that was a really close game. Yeah.
But in my opinion, I think they should have lost. Because then they would play. And then they play whoever wins between Golden State and Kings. And then they play OKC. Because I think they could have beat OKC because the
I agree.
experience.
I
And
agree.
then the Lakers they should own the OKC in the regular season because they have the size. OKC doesn't have anyone to guard LeBron or AD. And then Shea didn't. I don't even think Shea actually had his worst matchups against the Lakers. So it was like that was perfect. But they said they want to run it back against Denver, and will. Here's the positive side of it. If I mean a huge if they possibly could beat Denver, they know that if they could beat Denver, they can beat anyone in the West.
Oh,
Because
hands down.
my opinion, I think Denver's going back to back. They're my
I
favorites to
agree.
win. I think they
I
will.
think they'll definitely, in terms of when you're looking at the teams in the West, they have the experience and they have really the best. Although they're not the one seed, they are the best team in the West.
100%.
Denver is beating the Thunder in a 7 game series, along with just
Absolutely.
about any other team in the West, and I think they're gonna represent the West in the finals. But in terms of the East, do you think the Boston Celtics are running away with it, or who's a sleeper team you think
They're
we
running away
gotta
with it.
watch away?
I don't think anyone contends with them right now because the Boston, they have the offense, they have the defense. And Milwaukee, they aren't healthy. Cleveland, Donovan Mitchell isn't healthy. The Knicks don't have Randall, but they if they had Randall, I would say okay, that could be at least decent. But it's like I don't think it's really in it. Orlando, they're too young. Miami, we're hurt. Philly, I don't trust Embiid,
I
so
don't
it's like
trust
I
Embiid
don't.
in the playoffs, let alone the
Right.
Sixers, as a team in the playoffs past the second round.
It's I genuinely believe it's going to be Denver, Boston. But if I'm picking anyone, I'm picking Denver because Boston. Until Tatum and Brown show me that they can be those guys consistently, I will never believe they will never win a championship because those two just can never coexist and get it together at the right time. Because look at most superstar duos who won. Look at Chris Middleton and Giannis back then. They
Yeah.
they worked together. They played great. LeBron and AD in 2020. I mean, Steph, it didn't really matter who ran with him. It was either Wiggins, Clay, or who. It didn't matter. Then last year, Jamal Murray and Jokic, they played off each other perfectly. When are Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown going to do that? I've yet to see it. When they play off each other, they don't. It's either
There's a
one's
lot
having
of
a good
pressure
game.
on them to deliver, I feel like
Oh,
this year.
absolutely. I mean, it's pressure because of legacy wise, but not pressure as well. These guys are old. They gotta win now. But
Oh
no,
no,
because
they'll
Tatum and
be
Brown
back.
still
They'll be
makes
back in the Celtics, but I
it,
mean, legacy wise, this
it's
is
like
huge for them.
it's a problem because it's like when are you guys gonna get it done? Because it's like you got 2020, you lose to us in
You
the
know who
first
they
in the
remind me of, like in the NFL, if you were to compare them, they're like the Niners, bro. They've been good for
oh
just as
absolutely the
long as we
nine
could remember. They'll
they
make it,
they 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 always make because yeah because right you're right the Niners make they either make the championship game or they've been to the Super Bowl twice they've been to the championship game what twice I think
Yeah.
twice and they've lost every single time and that's the Celtics been to the finals lose championship game lose so it's like when are you gonna get it done when are you guys gonna get over the hump and get it done we're tired of the you guys are the favorites. We're tired of they're the best all around team, but you guys don't get it done when it matters. So, and another, I mean, well, if anything messes it up, it's the money. It's money because you got to pay Tatum that super max. You about to be paying Jalen Brown a lot of money.
Yeah.
You got to extend it. You got to pay Derek White. You already paid Drew Holiday. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't think
Porzingis,
Drew really fits the future for them. I thought this
he
was gonna be
doesn't.
a 1 or 2 year thing.
That's I thought it was like a 1 2 year thing, but then you extended Porzingis when you got him, so it's like Al Horford's probably gonna retire because he's up
Yeah, he's
there, so
done.
it's like
He's done.
he's probably done. He's probably done. So it's like you're gonna have the five starters, but then you're gonna have to fill out the rest of the team with a bunch of second rounders, late round, first round picks. So it's like, and you gotta have guys on the bench. No, I mean for the playoffs, yeah, you could play 8 man, 9 man rotation, but the regular season, you need a bench because what if you guys get hurt?
A good point. Yeah.
if you guys get hurt, then you're gonna have to be like the Knicks, where you have to play your stars 40 minutes a night and wonder why you get to the playoffs. These guys are gassed. So it's like, or you lose games in regular season because your stars are hurt and you don't have any guys to be a good backup. So it's like, mm-hmm. So in my opinion, the Celtics, they need to win. Giannis, the Bucks need to have to win. Cleveland has to do something. The Knicks, I mean, if you're a Knicks fan, I think you believe you have to do something. If you're me, then I don't think I have no
I think Knicks
expectations for you
fans are
guys.
at least expecting a conference finals appearance, and
Which
I
is
that's
actually
reasonable,
more
but I don't know.
realistic. That's actually more realistic this year than it was last year. But then you got Phoenix, you gotta win.
Yeah,
Minnesota, you don't have to win, but at least get to the conference finals.
I
Denver,
agree. I agree.
Denver. I mean, Denver, their expectations are high simply because they were champions last year. But I believe they'll be back again next year if they don't win this year.
Yeah. Denver is just
OKC,
like that. I don't know, man. That playoff format
they're like the
that,
Chiefs.
you
They're like the
know?
Chiefs.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like the
That's a great
Chiefs. It's like the
comparison.
Chiefs. It's like the Chiefs. Like, okay, like
Their
when the
system
Chiefs lost to
is
the
just
Ben,
like success,
it's
both
like
regular season and playoffs. So it's
right.
easy to
It's like
trust
if the
the Nuggets.
right if the Nuggets lose, we're just gonna be like, oh, they'll be back next year. Ain't nothing to really worry about. They'll be back next year. They still got Jokic. They still got the same five guys. They still got Mike Malone, whatever. Okay, see, my expectation for them.
They'll be back, but it's hard to replicate the season that they just had. The pressure will only get higher.
Oh, it's only gonna get higher. But it's like if they lose in the second round to a team that has more experience than them, or if they get to the conference finals, in my opinion, that's overachieving completely. I mean, they already overachieved, but they get to the conference finals, that's amazing. That would be
Hmm.
amazing. But they aren't beating Denver. They're not beating Denver, so I don't think they're gonna make the finals. If they make the finals, then I'm like, okay, this okay, see, just blew everything out the
Making the
water. They
finals would
just
be insane. Yeah,
that would be insane, but that would put so much pressure on them next year. It's like this team just made the
to
finals.
match. Yeah.
Now you now you just accelerated the rebuild to a point where it's like now you guys are championship contenders.
At that
But
point, you could honestly just see the Thunder trading those picks for, solidified veterans and
like
whatnot. You
actual
know,
player, like I mean the Gordon Hayward trade, I'm like, that didn't really do anything for him because
no,
he
no,
hasn't really
no.
done anything. But they would definitely trade those picks for guys like role players who like probably more veteran role players who like actually can like probably wing guys, because the Ludor's good, but he is like 6'3". I think they would probably trade for like a small four who's like 3 and D, like a I'm trying to think who's somebody who would be available. Um, I don't know. Honestly, really don't know. Really don't know. Somebody like OG. I mean, I know the Knicks aren't gonna trade OG, but OG somebody is somebody like who fits in a lot of teams. He fits on a lot of teams. Somebody like OG.
Man, what do you think about the Warriors, man? They had a great run, and after this year, it feels like the window's really closed on them. I really think that that ring they got against the Celtics really helped for Steph's legacy because he won that without KD,
KD, yeah.
without like
If
all
they
the,
if
all the stuff they said
true.
on his old rings. Like, I'm glad he got that one before all of this, the time really ran out on them.
I don't know what they're gonna do because if you because Clay, because it's like it's just, the difference is at least last year they got to the second round, but this year you don't even win a playing game, and I'm
Yeah.
like, dang. I'm like, how do you? And then you lose to the Kings who don't have Malik Monk or Bogdanovich. So I thought that was gonna be much closer, but it shows that Clay is getting way older. He's way out of his prime. Draymond's still Draymond, but you guys don't have a center.
Is he
Looney
worth
is
it though,
kind of.
man? Like this year seemed insane in terms of games he got thrown out, and his reputation has only, worsened.
I think I think they're not gonna trade him because they feel like that would be disrespectful to break them up. But it's like a lot of teams get stuck in that where it's like they try to rebuild while keeping their same veteran guys. I'm like, nah, you can't do that. You either gotta rebuild or you gotta go all in on trying to win right now. And that's what happened because I mean, at the end of the day, this is to be honest, this whole thing got destroyed when the Jordan Poole thing happened.
Oh yeah.
Draymond,
When he punched
Draymond,
Poole.
if he doesn't do that, I think they're in a way different place right now than they are right now because Poole was never the same.
Oh, Poole's looked terrible on the Wizards.
Oh, that was surprising
The
me. I
whole
thought he was
team
gonna be
does,
at least.
but he honestly I
Yeah,
thought
I'm
he'd
about to
have been
say, yeah,
better.
that's a that's a different conversation. That whole team was terrible, but everyone knew the Wizards were gonna be bad. I thought Poole was at least gonna average like 24. So I said, oh, he can shoot, he can dribble. I said, oh yeah, he's just gonna shoot shots like Kuzma was, but
Yeah,
he was terrible. He got moved to the bench at one point. So, but it is what it is. It is what it is. The Warriors, I don't know. I don't think they're gonna rebuild. I don't think they will. And the difference is, unlike the Bulls, at least they won recently. So
that's
they won
true.
something. So at least they can rebuild and be like, well, we have what 6 finals appearances and
Yeah.
4 rings, four
I
championships.
think if
So
I'm a Warriors fan though too, I think I'd be ready. I mean, they've done their job. I would keep Steph, but in terms of Clay and,
yeah,
Draymond, it's
yeah.
time to move on, bro. Especially Draymond, I wouldn't be able to put up with it. So I think they're ready to move
That's
on from him.
I mean, but if there is another thing to look back on, it's the draft in James Wiseman.
Yeah.
Because I mean, to be fair, at that moment it looked like the best pick because they needed a center. But looking back at it, people are gonna say, well, they should have drafted LaMelo because he could have replaced Clay. I'm like, well, do you know if LaMelo would fit with that team?
Yeah,
No,
looking back, I don't think so. The way LaMelo plays, I don't know.
I don't think it would
Curry
work.
would have to
No,
be more off ball.
I mean he's used to that anyway, but he's kind of used to that anyway. But it's like
Yeah,
I don't really said. I mean, can you really say you have regrets because you won a championship? You
that is
won one.
also true. Yeah,
Like it's different if you don't win, but you got one. So it's like, can you really say, well, I regret, we regret? Like, I don't know. I mean, are Warriors fans even Warriors fans? Most of them weren't even Warriors fans back
that
then.
is a great point. That is a great point.
I've never met a Warriors fan who wasn't a fan until like 2015. So,
Yeah, right around the time they popped off, that's very
right.
true.
So
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know. You won your championships. You should be happy.
yeah, they've
You
been
could be,
spoiled too, bro. They've had the whole 2010s decade.
they had the 2010s, and then you win another in 2022. You need to win another in 2022. So it's like I would not be mad. You could
Yeah,
be you could be like the Hornets, who've been bad for years, who have shown no type of making a like the Hornets haven't made the playoffs since 2016.
man, you should know. Like honestly, like coming from you, you're a Patriots fan, right? So you know what it's like to have that sustained success, and then when it's gone, bro, it's like your standards just set too high, man. I feel like I can relate to that.
I mean, honestly, after Brady left, my standard dropped. I said, okay, we're probably gonna be like a mid team. I said we're probably gonna be like an 8-8,
But
10 and
still
7
having Coach
team.
Belichick, wouldn't you think you're like at least we could probably be a playoff team?
I mean, we made the playoffs once. Yeah, we made it once since Brady left, and then we got
Yeah,
mollywopped by the Bills, and I never let that go.
I
I
remember
watched that
that.
game. I watched that game all 60 minutes and regretted it. Regretted it. I don't know why I did that to myself. It was
Yeah.
I couldn't. I still haven't
What year
recovered
was
from
that?
my.
2021?
That was 2022. That was 22.
Two?
Wait,
Yeah.
what the year was 22? That was 2022. I, re- Jeez, 17 to 47. That's crazy. But
Oh, I feel you on that, bro.
Jesus,
Trust.
that's that. But it's different because I thought we was gonna at least be close. We got destroyed, which is crazy. Josh Allen threw 6 touchdowns. They scored every time they got the ball.
Yeah, that's
That's
insane.
hard to do. That's hard to do. And that's on the Bill Belichick defense. So by the way, but I mean, I'm okay. I mean, and then even coming into this year, I thought we was gonna at least be decent. Not through whatever we won, like 4 games. I think we won 4 games. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ. And then now
If we go
and
off
now
topic a little bit, because we are, but it's all good. If we just go off topic and talk about your expectations for the draft. Where do you see? Because you guys hold the number three pick, and I'm hearing
What
that Jaden Daniels is linked to Washington at number two, which leaves you with Drake May. Would you be
Drake
satisfied
May,
with
which
that?
I'm gonna see won't have a problem with Drake May. My problem is we didn't get any receiver in free agency, so we have to go a receiver in the second round, or we have to trade for like a Brandon Ayuk, like because
Yo,
most people
Ayuk
when
would
they
be
talk
nice
about
though. I think he would be
he
nice.
absolutely Ayuk would have been nice. Keenan Allen for a fourth round pick would have been nice,
Yeah.
but we
Oh
didn't
my
do it. We
God,
didn't
bro, that
do it.
was a steal. What did
That
Diggs
that's
go for too? That was a great move.
a second.
To Houston.
He was a second round pick. But the Bills weren't going to trade him to us. They weren't doing that. They weren't doing that. I
That's
saw that they
true.
weren't trading
Yeah,
that. They weren't doing it to us. But
that'd be
most people,
bogus.
I'm hearing rumors that we're open to trade the third pick. If we trade down, I'm gonna be very pissed off because I'm sick because we do it every
How far
year. We
back though?
trade down.
How far back are you looking to go? Like when you talk about trading down,
We
you still got
it's
to pick
like
up a QB.
that's what I'm saying. If anything, if we don't, if we, because in my opinion, we're probably not the team to draft a quarterback right now unless we get weapons. Washington at least still has some receivers. They
You
have
guys, yeah, you
Terry,
guys lack the weapons absurdly.
and then the Bears. They just got Keenan now, and they got what's his
You know,
DJ
some
Moore.
are
So it's
saying
like
that it's the best rookie quarterback situation of all time. When you look at the Bears roster currently, like what
I
other first pick overall has gone to a team with Keenan Allen and DJ Moore as your one and two?
I hate when things are said like that because like that's kind of gassing it a little bit because it's like come on,
Maybe
don't
it
say
is.
all time.
Maybe it is
Don't say
gassing it, but
all time because say all time that means he has a great offensive line. He has a I mean he does have a great receiver group. You the coach is questionable, so it's like it's not like he's going to
the defense isn't
Andy
that
Reid.
bad. It's
That's what I'm saying.
it's
It's
you
like
know, it's solid.
to say he's going to the greatest position ever would be saying like he's got a Hall of Fame coach, weapons. He
That's
does
true.
have weapons, a solid offensive line. That's him going to the perfect situation. But if push comes to shove and we don't want to take quarterback, at least take Marvin Harrison because
Oh
please
man,
take
he is
Marvin
gonna be a
Harrison.
game changer.
Please, because if you take Marvin Harrison and we're bad next year, we can get a quarterback.
That's
At least the
true.
quarterback's gonna have a weapon. If we draft a quarterback, then we need to
If hold
either
on, if you guys don't take anyone, would you be stuck with Bailey Zappi as the number one?
no, it's Jacoby. I think Jacoby Brissett would be the number because we brought him back.
Damn, okay, y'all brought him
We
back.
brought Jacoby Brissett back. That's what I'm saying. We should go Marvin Harrison if we really aren't sure about a quarterback because at least we have a receiver who has
Yeah.
superstar potential. But if that's if we're afraid to go quarterback, which I can understand
Now
because we are a
let me
terrible
propose
quarterback.
this to you. What if you take Marvin Harrison and the Cowboys are looking to move Dak? What would you be willing to trade for Dak?
Dak, I'm
Yeah.
not moving anything for Dak.
Nah, right?
Dak is move,
I
Dak's
was
not
saying, bro,
moving.
because there's been a lot of contract controversies and trade talks surrounding Dak now. So
I
I'm
mean,
curious what a team like the Patriots or the Vikings, let's just say the Vikings are desperate, what that would look like.
oh, that'd be a good situation for Dak because he's gonna have weapons with Justin Jefferson, T.J.
Addison, right?
Hawkinson,
Yeah,
T.J.
that's a solid
Hawkinson. So it's like
situation.
I think that would not be a bad situation for Dak. But don't the Vikings have the 11th pick? They have the 11th pick.
They're 11, 12, something like that. They're right outside the top 10.
I think it's something like that.
But
I
JJ
mean,
McCarthy,
Dallas
bro,
will.
that's what I'm hearing to
Oh my
Minnesota.
god. Oh my
I don't
god.
get, I don't honestly get where
He's
the hype's been for that.
I don't get where that hype is. He's not that good to be going top 11. He's probably a second round pick for sure. He's probably a second, but top 15? We're not doing this again. We're not doing this again. Come on.
Hmm.
We know that Michigan offense was dominated by the run. It was dominated by the run game. So he was just a product of it. But who knows? These scouts must see something I don't see. And who knows? He could be the best quarterback in that class for some odd situation. because you know that matters a lot. That matters a lot. Situation because look at I'm trying to think. We're getting off the topic a lot. We're very far off topic. That's
Bro,
we got
what did you think about the Steelers move getting Justin Fields? Because they gave up very little for him as well. I know the Bears were really looking to move him, but they couldn't find
that was
the right
that
trade.
was in my opinion, it's smart because now I mean you have Russell Wilson. If Russell struggles, you could play Fields. And if Russ does struggle for the whole year and you don't play Fields at all, at least you know you can let Russ go, and you got a young quarterback to still come in and and who you could possibly turn into a good quality franchise quarterback, possibly. So it's like it's smart by the Steelers because you give up little to nothing for a young quarterback, and you got a veteran quarterback who could teach him. Because Russell Wilson, I believe he would definitely be a great veteran for Justin Fields. So it's like they prepared themselves for now and later because I think Russ still has something. He has something still.
He's shown flashes, I think, the last couple of years. Last year particularly was a
Yeah,
good comeback to his career.
but I don't know. The Steelers should be good next year. Yeah, that's gonna be a tough division, man. That's gonna
Yeah,
be
the
a
North.
real tough. That's gonna be a real tough division, man.
Man, I don't know, man.
That's
With Baltimore, yeah,
Baltimore.
Cincy,
The Bengals coming back healthy. They
Cleveland's
got
gonna be
Cleve.
around, but man, it's hard for me to buy into Cleveland now.
Yeah, with Deshaun, his health, and then is he good? I mean, you get Nick Chubb back at least. I forgot about that. I forgot to Nick Chubb back. I mean, it'll be interesting going into next year. What's how things go, man. It's be interesting. I just want to see how the draft goes. Let's see how the draft because what the draft's in what?
Next week,
Yeah, so yeah, it's like a couple days. So it's like let's just see. Let's see how things go. Let's just see how things go, man.
what do you
So
think about Michael Penix then? Because I'm pretty sure he'll be a first round pick, but I don't know
he'll
what the
probably like
talks
be
on him has been. First
he'll
round at
probably be
least.
like probably like mid to late. Probably mid to late. I don't think he'll be like top
You don't think he's a first
15.
rounder? Oh, you're
I
saying
mean, I
mid
think
to
he's the
late
first.
first round?
Yeah, mid to late. Because I remember it was rumors of us taking him. I said we're not taking him third overall. We're not doing that. I
Yeah.
said either be Jay McDaniels or Drake May. I really wanted to get the number two pick because then we at least know a guarantee Drake May or Jay McDaniels is up to us because we know Caleb's going. I mean, I really wanted the number one pick, but I knew we weren't getting that because the Panthers were terrible last year. I knew we weren't getting that.
They got fleeced, bro. If we're being honest, I think the Panthers would much rather have Caleb Williams than, and I know it's only been a year, but Bryce Young, it's night and day.
I mean, it's not fair to Bryce Young because he got put in a terrible situation.
Yeah, the worst.
You traded his only weapon, who was going to be DJ Moore, for the number one pick, and you don't even you get who was it? Who was it? Adam Thielen? I mean, Thielen was decent, but he isn't
He isn't a
DJ
one.
Moore. He
No.
isn't DJ Moore. He isn't a one no more. He's far from a one anymore. So it's like they got fleeced, and then you
So
don't.
now with a new rookie coming in, Caleb Williams, and he will have DJ Moore having Keenan Allen
Keenan
in that
Allen.
offense. Do you think the Bears would be I don't know. I feel like they could really shock a lot of people. I think my expectation for them would be at least a wild card team because I think the seventh seed should be a given, but they're in a tough
Yeah,
division too when you talk about the Lions
yeah.
and the Packers have gotten better. I don't think Minnesota is a serious threat just because of their
If they
quarterback
don't,
situation, but
no quarterback, I don't think they're gonna make it
yeah,
far. No quarterback, they're not gonna do much. But Green Bay, Jordan Love, he's gonna get better.
dude,
The
they
Lions,
yeah, they've been
The
nice.
Lions, they're based on they're gonna be good anyway because I think they just have one of the
They're a
better. They
contender
just got to the
too.
champ.
Yeah, they're a
They're
playoff team.
absolutely a contender. They were literally just a couple just they were literally a couple plays from going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So the line, and then they had the cap space, they have the draft picks to get better defensive guys. So it's like the Lions, I think they're gonna be good for a while. Minnesota, till they get a solid quarterback, And if they don't get a solid quarterback, Jefferson could ask out. He absolutely can ask out
Oh yeah,
because
they haven't extended him yet.
him and Jamar Chase haven't got extended yet.
Hmm.
Him and Jamar Chase, but I think Jamar Chase is more so because money, money wise. We Jefferson, I think, is because situation, not more money. I think because they can throw everything at Jefferson. Jamar is more so, I think, it's because they're trying to save as much money because they gotta pay because T Higgins just got franchise tag. You gotta pay Jamar. So it's like, where's they're gonna have no money because you gotta pay Jamar like 40 million because he is one of those receivers. You gotta
Yeah.
pay him like $40 million. So it's like they're not gonna have any money. So
Bro, can you imagine a situation where Justin Jefferson leaves the Vikings to join Jamar and you have that LSU triplets with Joe,
that would
Jamar,
be
and Jefferson?
Joe Burrow would be in the absolute perfect quarterback position. He gets to play with his former college teammates, and both guys are elite receivers.
Oh,
That
this it's
chemistry
Super
would
Bowl or bust if you're in that situation though.
that
It's
I mean
gotta deliver.
that offense would be amazing. I would both guys are capable of going for 1,400 yards in
Oh,
double
for
digit
sure.
touchdowns. With double digit touchdowns. Like Joe Burrow will have to throw 5,000. If he doesn't throw 5,000 yards, I'm gonna be disappointed. If he doesn't throw 5,000 yards with those two,
Oh, it would be electric.
barring health, that'd be the only thing. Health is always something you gotta talk about with Roethlisberger, but
What do you think about the Eagles this year? I feel like if I'm just talking about a team that's improved a lot, I feel like they definitely could be in the discussion for the best team in the NFC.
uh, they should be back at the top of the NFC again
They're at
because
least, I think they're winning the East. I think the Cowboys kind of regress, so we're probably going to be
yeah,
in the
they
back
should they
seat, and
should
they're going to
they
take the
sh-
East.
they should win the East. They really haven't fixed their DB issues, and then they
Nah, that's
lost
true.
Jason Kelsey, and then losing Jason Kelsey is a big blow. And then you
That's
got,
true. They are going to be experiencing that this year.
and then I mean, yeah, you got a better running back than Swift with Saquon, but
Man,
you lose
we got to
Jason.
see Saquon's health too. I should
That's
pump the brakes on that because he's always been dinged up. So I think realistically, it's a nice fit, but man, like if he's not healthy, then
yeah.
it's kind of a waste.
Then it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter really. It's really not gonna matter. But we gotta see Jalen Hurts because last year he was not the same guy he was the year prior. He threw way
No, it's
more
a big prove it
interceptions
year.
than he threw a lot. He threw what 16? I think it was like 16 interceptions, 15, something like that. Yeah, I was like, that's weird for him
His
because he threw
accuracy
like
was off too. I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe it was just me, but I feel like it was.
His actually definitely was off. I don't know what it was because it's not like I mean probably new offensive coordinator, new defense coordinator. That a lot of things for the Eagles went wrong last year. Because remember they started out what 11 and was it 11-0 or was it 10-0?
It was like 10-1. I think it was 10-1.
Oh yeah, it was 10-1 because they lost to the Jets. I remember that game. I was watching that game. But
And they hit a downward spiral. I think they finished with 11-6 as a final record.
maybe 11-6, and they lost what 5 of their last 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty much a downward spiral. I knew they were losing to the Bucks. I knew they were.
Yeah, I had that feeling as well. What do you think about the Chargers though, man? I love Justin Herbert, but I feel like they've done nothing but take away from him and he's in a really tough situation now.
That is that is unfortunate for him because he went from one of the better offensive rooms to you get rid of Keenan for a fourth. I get what was his name?
Mike Williams, right?
Michael. I get Mike Williams because he's always hurt, but it's like you don't replace. And then who was it? Not well, it's
Austin
not Josh
Eckler.
Palmer. It's not then Austin. I mean, yeah, Austin. I get yeah, Austin. They let go, and then it's not Josh Palmer. What was his name? Quentin Williams. Was it
Yeah,
Quentin Williams?
yeah.
He was terrible last year.
I
He was
agree.
really bad. He was terrible last year. So it's like, and they're trying to become more of a running team, but it's like you got one of the
I could see
best
them making
passing
a
court.
play for Malik Neighbors or well, they're the 5 seed, so I don't think they're gonna get Marvin Harrison, but They'll have a chance
Uh,
at Malik
they pro- they
Neighbors.
they they have to draft the receiver. He needs some type of weapon,
Yeah.
something. You gotta give him something. You gotta give him something, man. And then they're in a tough division again with the Chiefs. The Raiders could possibly get better.
I
The
don't see the
Broncos.
Raiders as anything special, bro. They'll always be the Raiders. They're dog. They're dog
That's
shit.
fair. The Broncos, they're not doing anything. They're
Nah.
they're not
It's
doing
really it's
anything.
only the Chiefs. Yeah.
It's crazy. I wish you would have heard what I said last year about the Broncos. I because me and John did predictions for what we thought would for every team in every division.
Or you was
I thought
talking
the
about last
Broncos was
year?
yeah, I thought the Broncos was gonna win like 10, 11 games.
Oh,
I
they had
thought
a
they
shot. I
improved
think I
their
had them at 9-8. I think at most
I,
9 wins.
I said 11 to 10. And they completely I mean they started out bad and then they started trending upward and
Oh
then
yeah,
they just
they had
benched
a little
Russ.
mid-season streak. Yeah.
And then they benched Russ, and then that was pretty much it. So I was like, I was off a little bit. I was all, I think I was off. How many? I don't remember how many games they won, but I
Bro,
just know I was off.
a team I was super high on last year was the Jets, and obviously we all know week one, Rodgers had the most
That's not
historic,
really
you know.
fair. That's not really fair because like you can't if you told me Rodgers was gonna tear his Achilles week one, 3 plays in, I would say you're crazy. I said that luck is impossible. You have
So
some
what do you
bad
feel
luck
like
like
the fair assessment or the fair expectations could be in this? Because this, although it is technically year two of the Rodgers experience, it's really year
mm,
one because they didn't
it's
have that
really
full
real.
year.
It's
But he's
true.
a year older. He's got an
It's still
Achilles injury.
super. It's still Super Bowl or bust. It really is. It still is because they improved their offensive line. Who did they add?
They
They added
added, let me tell you about Tyron Smith. Teams might not know it. Sure, he was a Pro Bowler. He's a future Hall of Famer, but he's washed, bro. He'll give you 6 games a year. Take it or leave it. That's all you're getting. So if you're the Jets, you better have some superstar backup left tackle.
they do not. That's the reason
I
why they
don't
went
know,
and got
bro.
Tyron Swift because they had nobody left to tackle. And then didn't they sign Mike Williams? I think they did sign Mike Williams. They did sign
Yeah,
Mike Williams.
that's true.
I forgot what else they did, but I
So
forgot
you
what else
got
they
Garrett
did. But
Wilson, Mike Williams, Alan Lazard still there. Brees Hall obviously is a huge
Brees,
part of their run game.
they got
The
Aaron
Jets
Rodgers.
defense is the Jets defense.
Just
They're
defense.
still good,
It's
but
still a lead, so it's like
Adam Salaz
you
has a lot of pressure on him this year to at least make the playoffs because I know
oh
him
you
and
gotta make the
the
play.
GM has gotten into it. So this is a make or break year for the Jets.
You gotta make the playoffs because this is like you finally got the quarterback and you gotta make the playoffs. You got to. If you don't, then he's probably fired. He should be fired at that point because it's like this. They given him what 4 years, 4 or 5 years. I can't remember. I
Yeah.
think it was like 4 years. I think it's 4 years. So it's like you gotta make the playoffs. Got to. Absolutely. Oh yeah, another team I was high. I was high on the Saints last year. I should have known better.
Mm.
I should have known better. I should have known.
I thought the Saints were winning the division, but
I did
I don't
too.
know.
The Saints are gonna do
Especially
something,
this
and
year,
then
what do you think? The Falcons take the AFC, not
they're
AFC,
taking
the NFC South.
they're taking us out. They should because if anything, if the real question is, are we gonna see a elite Kyle Pitts tight end season? Is that's my real
Oof.
question. Are we gonna see Kyle Pitts be
They got rid
shown
of
what his
Arthur Smith, right? Who's their head
yeah,
coach?
they Raheem Morris.
Oh,
And I think
he was
they
with the
brought
Rams,
in
right?
I think an offensive coordinator. They brought in I forgot who he was a coordinator for or who a coach. But I think he runs a similar system to the Rams. So I was like, I said, oh yeah, I said there it's Kirk Cousins. I said, because think about it, Pitts had a good year with Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
And Kirk Cousins, we know he's gonna they throw the ball. I mean, he's in a perfect situation. That's an ideal situation for a quarterback. You got a solid offensive line. You got Drake London. They have a top pick. They're probably gonna draft a number two or probably go defense.
I want to
You
see
have
Bijan get the usage that he deserves, bro, because
he
he was
deserves
robbed of a rookie
from
monster season, bro.
Tyler Algier.
Yeah, I
It's
swear,
like
bro. This shit pissed me off.
it's so stupid. But
Yeah.
you got Bijan in the backfield. Then you got Kyle Pitts. Like that's an ideal quarterback situation. You give a quarterback a receiver, a tight end, and a running back. That's a perfect situation to be in for a quarterback. And then Kirk Cousins, we know he's a pretty solid quarterback, probably like top 15, top 13, top 12 guy, not top five, top 10. He's not game changing, but he's definitely a franchise QB who can take you at least to the playoffs.
Yeah.
He isn't he isn't winning you a Super Bowl. I don't think he's not winning a Super Bowl unless he's in an absolute unless he's in a Niner situation. I don't think he's winning you a Super Bowl
No,
or the
I agree.
Jets or the Jets or something like that. If he's in a situation where he's got a elite defense on the other side and he's got weapons on offense, he's not winning you a Super Bowl. But Falcons, I believe they're winning the South because the Panthers are bad. The Buccaneers, they'll probably be
They'll be in the mix, but
right.
I don't think they'll be.
They'll be in the mix. The Saints, they'll be one of those in the mix teams, just where it's like we're not good enough to make the playoffs, but we're not bad enough to be 3-14 like the Panthers. Panthers are gonna be bad again. They're
Yeah.
gonna be bad again. They're absolutely gonna be bad again. But, I'm trying to think who else. What else is another position?
And what do
Mm,
you think? And man, I'm already fed up already with my team, but the Cowboys, their approach to this offseason, completely abysmal if you're asking me, because I thought after what
I
happened with
thought you
Green
got
Bay, I thought Mike McCarthy should have gotten canned.
he should have been fired.
I
He
don't know
should have
how you
never.
bring
He
him
should.
back.
He he should have been fired the day after that game.
I agree,
When
bro.
Jerry Jones said he's coming back, I said, and you see, this is why they're never going to be winning anything. You're going to keep
No.
a guy who lost to the Niners back-to-back years. And
Yeah.
first of all, I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anyone says. That game wasn't close. If you look at the
Against
stat,
Green Bay? Hell no. No, 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 no.
like, because most
That was
people
that
are
was
going to
just
look
a feel good fantasy points stat padding
right.
at the end. That was all that was. That game was not close.
People are going to look back at that game and be like, well, Dak played great. No, he did not.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
He stat padded that second half. He stat padded empty calories,
Yeah.
and that game was over with after the third quarter,
Oh,
and
even
that's
before
when
that, I think by halftime it was like 28. In the second quarter,
oh
it was
yeah,
like 28 to nothing. And I
oh
was just
yeah,
sitting there and I was like, is this real life? Is this like actually happening, bro? Because I was in such, I don't know, distraught at what I was seeing. And to be running
I
it back,
remember
bro, is just crazy to me. Running it back is insane, but I should have
I
known
felt
that this team is just in love with mediocrity and being in the spotlight because that's all Jerry Jones really cares about, selling tickets, merchandise. It's clear to me, bro, like he doesn't give a shit about the team, so
I don't even
I don't
remember
know.
what I was doing. I just remember I looked at the score because I looked it up on my phone. I was like, because I think Green Bay was up 7-0. I was like, okay, that sounds about right. I said I said it's probably gonna be I said the Cowboys gonna let them just get a lead and they gonna come back and just erase it. Then I look back and it was 24, like 7,
Yeah,
24-0.
it
I was
was
like, okay,
nuts.
what's going on right now? I said, I need to look at these stats. I said, I need to tune into Twitter or something. I said, what's going on in this game where
Dude,
Cowboys
it
got the
was the
lead?
lowest of the lows I've ever felt as a fan. And that's saying a lot as a Cowboys
That's
fan,
saying
bro.
a lot because you guys have a
Like
lot
like a first
of
round loss to the Packers in a year where we should have at least made the conference
counts because I'm gonna be honest,
championship. That was bare minimum for me.
I thought it was gonna be you guys and the Niners
That's what
again.
I
That's
said,
why I
bro.
thought it. That's why I thought I said, but
That's what the
Green
script
Bay,
writers had for us, bro. But the script writers had to make a last second change,
they
man.
had to make a last second change, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
That was ridiculous. That's
yeah.
ridiculous.
Man, I don't know what else really in terms of the NFL, but we hit on everything that we wanted to with the NBA.
Yeah,
So I might wrap it up with this. If you guys enjoyed the content, make sure to leave a like, subscribe. I'll have Mike's links in the bio in the description, so make sure to check that out. Until then, me and
absolutely,
Mike are signing out. We'll see you next time.
absolutely. See you.
Where's the recording thing?